Okay, this is probably the last video for the more transitory words series for this, and we will explore some interesting transitory, I guess, or not even transitory, but words that can help you, right? In just general, right? One note about the previous video with labi is that labi will, if you use labi by itself, it's generally most commonly going to follow enclitic particles like ba, na, gani, etc., right? Enclitic particles. That's why it's imperative that you know your enclitic particles and what they do and how to use them, okay? Because I'm not going to go over their usage here. So just, again, be familiar with your enclitic particles and their usages. Because sometimes these words do follow enclitic particles a lot, okay? And so if you don't have a good foundation on that, well, you're SOL. Sorry, man. Moving on. Ways to express no to a permanent degree, right? Sometimes in English, we like to express them as never or prohibited or forbidden, right? Forbidden or never. There are ways to express this in Cebuano. Now, I put no to a permanent degree because these are ways that a negative is expressed permanently, okay? And if you remember your negatives, right, it's dili and wala, okay? And if you remember that dili expresses the incepting aspect while wala expresses the incepted aspect, right? Or what I like to call completed and incomplete, right? And if an action started, right, an action started and completed, it happened already and it's done. It was incepted. Wala is going to be used. The opposite is true. If an action hasn't started yet and you're going to express it sometime in the future or wherever, and then the action is incepting, and dili expresses that inception. So just keep those in mind. The first we have is dili gyud or dili kaayo, right? I like to use dili gyud to express something similar to the English word never, right? Never. Dili gyud. However, dili can because of Cebuano's nature with words, right? Not just verbs, but Cebuano's nature and the relationship of the the nature of the language in Cebuano, where you don't need to use verbs, you can just use other words like adjectives, adverbs, nouns, those kind of things. They can be expressed as verbs as well. And dili is no exception. Dili and wala can be expressed as verbs, right? So here we have didan and gidili, right? And we can use those to express something that's been prohibited or something that is not allowed, right? Has been prohibited and not allowed and forbidden. However, remember that because didan and gidili have their endings with the non-focus, remember we have a non-focus ending there, you have to conjugate those verbs in accordance with the non-focus by using the ergative forms of markers, right? The ergative markers. And I'm just gonna leave it as it is because there are videos over that, right? And last but not least, we have nunca, right? And nunca is a borrowed Spanish word meaning never, never. Nunca meaning never, and you'll see how it's used. So our first sentence is dili gyud sila musugod sa atong kontrata, inana lagi sila. Okay, so this person is complaining, right? Whoever said this is complaining. Dili gyud sila mosugot sa atong kontrata. They will never agree to our contract, right? They will never agree to our contract. Dili gyud, right? What we did here was with dili, we emphasized dili by adding an enclitic particle gyud, okay? Dili gyud. We emphasize and we strengthen the meaning of no, right? So it can have a meaning of never now because it's no to a permanent degree. It was emphasized. That negative was then emphasized to show a permanent degree or to show no other solutions. Dili gyud sila mosugot sa atong kontrata. They will never agree to our contract. In ana lagi sila, they're always like that. That's how they are. That's how they always are. That's how they really are. Ha? Bayaran pataka sa plete? Nunca. What? I have to pay for your fare too? Yeah, I have to pay for your fare too? Never, right? Never. Nunca. Right? Nunca. Never. Right? This person is angry. And lastly, we have we have Wala gyud mikpan sa panaderia, right? Sa panaderia, sorry. Wala gyud mikpan sa panaderia. And this, since we used wala, this happened in this action already happened. It was incepted, right? So it happened already in the past. So we know that this can translate now to we never had any bread. We never had any bread, or there wasn't any bread in the there was never any bread in the bakery, or we never, yeah, sorry, we never had bread in the bakery, like never again. Wala gyud, dili gyud, right? So we never had bread in the bakery. This happened already. The action already started, right? That's why we use wala. Next one we have, right, is basta. And pay attention with basta because basta is a really weird one. Basta can mean if and only if. So it has that condition of if and only if with a condition. It can mean as long as, and again, it's a conditional, as long as blah, 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 right? Then you use basta. Given or provided that or given that, blah, 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 blah. Again, it gives a condition. So you use basta. And it can also mean just, like just as long as, or just this, just that, just whatever, right? Don't get this confused with lamang or lang or ra, right? This is a different kind of just. You'll see this with the example sentence. However, when we reduplicate basta, right? When basta gets reduplicated, basta basta, now the meaning changes. We get something that's called careless or whatever, or not exact. Something that just was put together carelessly and with no care, or just no one gives a shit. Like no one cared about it. No one bothered with it. It was just whatever it is, right? It's messy, it's chaotic, no one cared, okay? So it was careless or whatever, whatnot, not exactly, not accurate, that kind of stuff. And you'll see this with the example sentences. Gosh, I'm losing my voice. The first sentence, ayaw basta-basta, ayuhon nimo ang kwarto. So ayaw basta-basta means this person is angry, right? Ayaw basta-basta, don't be just whatever, right? Ayaw basta-basta, don't be whatever, don't be just whatever. Fix your room. Ayuhon nimo ang kwarto. Fix your room. Don't be just whatever, fix your room. Maybe this person's room was messy. It was chaotic in there. It was just, I don't know, it was topsy-turvy. It was a mess. The room was a mess because ayaw basta basta. It's just, don't just leave it as carelessly whatever as it is. Don't do that. Fix it. Fix your room. Ayuhon, fix. Nimo ang kwarto. You fix your room. Like fix the room, sorry. Fix the room. Next sentence is dili bitaw basta basta kadtong piyestaha. Nindot gani. So the first clause reads, dili bitaw basta-basta kadtong piyestaha. Dili bitaw basta-basta means that kadtong piyestaha means that party wasn't that party wasn't just whatever. Like it wasn't just ordinary, right? That party wasn't just whatever, put together ordinary, carelessly or whatever. It was even beautiful. Nindot gani, it was even amazing. So we can translate this as that party wasn't ordinary. It just wasn't ordinary. It was even beautiful. Right? Dili basta basta katong piestaha, nindot gani. Ooh, I'd like to go to a party like that isn't just basta basta, just whatever. That party wasn't, maybe they said basta basta because maybe somebody wanted to express that the party was not just set up and created carelessly or whatever, or not accurately, It was an extraordinary party. And finally, the last sentence is, basta ugma ha, nakigsaad pata, basta naay ko kwarta, or naay ko kwarta. So basta ugma ha, okay, just as long as tomorrow, huh? Just tomorrow, remember, right? Basta ugma ha, okay. As long as it's tomorrow, or just, given that it's tomorrow, right? Nakigsaad pata. We even made promises, or we even promised ourselves, right? Nakigsaad pata. And then finally we have basta naay ko kwarta. Basta naay ko kwarta means as long as I have money. Okay, as long as I have money, or given that I have money. And finally we have labaw, right? Which can translate to more than, surpassing, or outvalue something, surpassing something, more than something. You can express this in the Cebuano, it's similar, but not exactly. It's similar, but not the same. as the Cebuano mas and maskin, okay? More than, or even if, more than, okay? But it's gonna express outvaluing something. Something is gonna outvalue another thing, okay? That's your key there. It's gonna outvalue something. The first sentence comes from a lyrics, a very popular song that's in Cebuano. Ang bahandi labaw sa bulawan, okay? Bahandi labaw sa bulawan. Whatever whatchamacallit. This song is actually from Pilita Corrales. It's called it's called Matud Nila, and the lyrics has something that goes Maoy bahandi labaw sa bulawan, right? But labaw sa bulawan. And oh my gosh, I'm blanking out right now. Hold on. What do I want to say with bahandi here? Is like riches and treasures. There you go. So the riches or your treasures, right, that are more than and bulawan means gold. Okay, so so my treasure or my riches, right? Ang bahandi labaw sa bulawan, riches and treasures that are worth more than gold, more than or surpassing or outvaluing the value of gold. Bulawan, right? Gold. Sorry. The next sentence we have, why makalabaw sa iyang kabuutan? Why makalabaw sa iyang kabuutan? So there is nobody, right? There exists nobody that can outvalue or surpass his goodness, kabuutan. So buutan of a person, if someone is buutan, they are a very kind person. So there is no one that exists that can outpass this his kindness, right? Or his goodness, right? The person's goodness. Why makalabaw sa iyang kabuutan? There's nobody in this world that can surpass his goodness. And finally, we have nilabaw ang ulo sa hirapa sa mga kahoy. So nilabaw ang ulo sa hirapa means the giraffe's head outvalued, I guess, or in this case surpassed. The giraffes had surpassed the trees, right? Sa mga kahoy. So the head of the giraffe surpassed the trees, meaning the giraffe's head was taller or higher than the trees there was around, right? Because a giraffe's head is a lot taller, or tall, I guess, but yeah, it's tall enough to surpass trees in length, right? So nilibaw ang ulo sa hirapa sa mga kahoy. The giraffe's head surpassed the trees. And this should be the last video for the more transitory words.